Shabbat Shalom everyone. Shabbat Parashat Matot-Masei. This week's parasha, we come to the end of Chumash Bamidbar. One of the topics in this week's parasha is Bnei Israel go out of war against the Midianim. Because of what the Midianim, together with the Moavim, they seduced Bnei Israel and then persuade them to go do idol worship. So Bnei Israel, God tells Moshe Rabbeinu, you have to go and you have to revenge against them. And Moshe, they send an army, they fight against them, and after the battle comes to an end, and there's a lot of loot from the battle, they destroyed the Midianim, and then it says the following, וחצית את המלכוח בין תופסי המלחמה יוצאים לצבא ובין כל העדה. You have to take all the loot, and you have to divide it between the people who went out to war and between the people who stayed back. Why do you have to divide it? These people went out to war, these people didn't. Why does it have to be divided between them? It's unfair. Truth is, we find the same kind of concept already with Avraham Avinu. When he goes to fight the four kings, when he comes back and there's a question there, of the loot, he says, I'll give everything to Melech Sodom. He says, I'll give everything back to you. I don't want anything. But what Anir Eshkol and Mamre, which that they stayed back in the camp, what they deserve, they deserve. And it's clear to have already to Avraham Avinu that they deserve their share in whatever's happening here. Same thing with David HaMelech, we found the same thing also. So we need to understand this concept of dividing the loot, or dividing whatever we've gained together. Sometimes, also in a family, there could be a feeling. One of the spouses is out, he's doing things, he's achieving things, and the other one is doing less. Sometimes it creates some kind of competition between the two spouses. The true or the proper way to look at these things is to understand that whatever one of the spouses is doing, wherever they're doing it, truly it's both of them doing it. Because whatever one is doing, wherever they're doing it, it's out of the power of both of them together. If after being married, still the feeling is we've got two individuals here, each one of them goes out, does his job, and at the end we just come back and we live in together, we've got shared living quarters like partners who share an apartment somewhere, that's terrible, that's sad, that's devastation, that's one of the saddest scenarios I can think of in life. But if they truly live it's not a shared life together, they live their life together. So whatever one of them is doing, wherever they're doing it, is inevitably also has the other one part of what they're doing. And then it doesn't matter. So one of them, he's making more money, he's got more of an influence on the crowds, doesn't matter. But they both share whatever they're doing. Another, maybe even more important thing to understand about this is, what are the important things that are being done by any person, by a couple, by a family, that they share in between them? Many years ago, I was in reserve duty somewhere. One of the guys with me in reserve duty complained that there was a write-up about the community that he lives in, and in the write-up they said that it's a community that many of the people are educators, and he was very insulted. He said, what, me an educator? I'm a respectable person. Okay, what does this respectable person do that's way more important than education? Well, he runs a factory. He's got a factory that he's the owner and the manager of the factory. What does this factory do? This isn't a joke, this is a true story. They do plastic wrapping. So in his eyes, being in charge of a factory that does plastic wrappings is more important than education. Why does he see it that way? Because he makes more money. And he's not the only one who sees it that way. He gets more respect. He's a factory owner. He's a factory manager. Compared to a teacher, many of those, they always on strike, complain about what's happening there. I've got a friend, for many years he was learning in yeshiva and teaching for primary school ages. And he told me his family, they tell him, why don't you do something with your life? Look at your sister. His sister, if I remember correctly, she was in charge of marketing of Huggies, the diapers, in Europe. Now she's doing something serious. She's selling diapers to the Europeans. What's he doing? Teaching Jewish kids Torah and stuff like that. What's more important? What do you speak about? She's got a better house, better salary. Probably she makes 10 times more than he's making. But that's what makes it worthwhile. And not only does the person who's outside making the money need to give credit for what he's doing for a spouse that's maybe less doing that because they're more involved in the home, but more than that, the spouse that is involved in the home, maybe if they can give some of the credit of what they're doing with the kids, helping the kids, educating them, bringing them up. Also, some credit can go to the spouse who doesn't interfere and goes to work somewhere else, or maybe does. Also, take some share in it. But we have to understand, whatever we're doing together. Shabbat Shalom.